Hello and welcome to today's webinar, Who Wants to Live Like a Millionaire? We're going to be talking today about what a lifestyle of millionaires really is. Who are millionaires in this country? How do they become millionaires? And do you have what it takes? So that's the topic. We're going to bust some myths about millionaire lifestyle. We're going to confirm a few beliefs that are true. And we're going to see if that's really what you want or need in your life. I do not want anybody to take away from this that my belief is that everybody should work toward being a millionaire. It is not for everybody, and want to encourage you to set your own goals and strive for those. Okay, do you have what it takes? This millionaire lifestyle, it might be a little more demanding than most people think. What we see on the TV is not necessarily what reality is. Let's go through this. Now, if you wanted to, there are some materials on our website that you can actually take a self-evaluation to see if you're ready for the millionaire lifestyle. This is just an abbreviated version today. Let's define what a millionaire is. It is not somebody who earns $1 million a year. That's not the truth. Most millionaires do not earn $1 million a year. They're earning much less. A millionaire is somebody who has a net worth of $1 million or more. So you take all their assets, the properties that they will invest in, their stocks and bonds and all their funds, and maybe the business that they own. Don't include their home. You got to live somewhere. So these are items, assets that you could somehow sell for $1 million. Essentially, that's your net worth. Add all up, subtract any liabilities, any debts that you owe, and if it's above $1 million, that's a millionaire. All right, so it's the net worth of the household. It is not a lifestyle. This is what we see quite frequently. We think of millionaires, we think, oh, it's the nice cars, the fancy cars, the big, huge mansions. It's all the jewelry. It's the lifestyle of traveling around the world, of not having to work anymore. That really is the crux of today's presentation, today's webinar. I'd be interested what your thoughts are, what you think millionaires drive. Can you, we actually have a course if you wanted to go to Money Fit Academy. And under the courses, there is a Who Wants to Live Like a Millionaire. You can actually take this evaluation. And it asks you, can you name a millionaire? Most people, when I go into classes, especially in high school and middle school, they will name our current president, or they will name a couple of huge billionaires that own massive tech companies. But they can't name a millionaire unless they start getting into the artists, the actors, and the athletes, musicians. That's who comes to mind for most youth and young adults when they think of millionaires. And you think of their lifestyle, and this is what you get. You get the fancy cars, you get the huge homes, you get the bling, because if you think about it, that's kind of what those actors and athletes and musicians, they need to be noticed for their income. If nobody knows who they are, they're not going to buy their music. They're not going to go see the movie that they're in. They need to stand out, need to brand themselves, and by branding themselves with the extravagant lifestyle, it gets attention. And it just does. That's true. But is that the most common way for millionaires in this country to become millionaires? There are about 12 million millionaires in this country. This is as of about 2020. 12 million millionaires. And you can see there that where it says actors, athletes, musicians, celebrities, 0%. You could round to the nearest 100th of a percent, and it would still probably go down to zero. If every single actor, professional athlete, and celebrity were to be a millionaire, and they aren't, they would still make up less than half of 1%. Here's where they come from. Yes, about 16% are the big CEOs of the big companies, the business leaders, and so forth. But that's the smallest section up there. About 20%. You look at the green section there and the pink section. If you were to add those together, those are all the professionals. Those are the physicians, the dentists, the accountants, the attorneys, the professions. They're about 40%. Roughly half of them work for somebody else. They work at a hospital, they work in a clinic, and about half of them work for themselves. So it is split fairly evenly, about 40%. Those who work for themselves are small business owners. And then about another 20% are other non-professional small business owners. Small business owners, these are owners of lawn care, of house cleaning, of printer repair, of tech, of just about any business you can think out there, restaurants, so forth. Small business, they're not going to have more than 100 employees. They're going to be fairly small. Most of them are going to be a couple employees, maybe 5, most of them. But you will get quite a few that will have larger staff. But 40% are professionals, 40% are small business owners, and they kind of overlap there. And then the final one, which is the actual largest, is just everybody else. You can have the professors and the teachers and the librarians. You can have the managers and the supervisors. You can have people from all walks of life in this category. It is true that the larger the income, the easier it is to become a millionaire. But you can have a huge income and spend it all, and you're not a millionaire. There are people making $200, $300, $500 million a year and spending all of it and then some. They're going into debt. That does not make them a millionaire. It just makes them big spenders. So for lower income, that middle lower income, it may not be as easy, but many of them just live a frugal life. In fact, that's kind of what we're talking about here today. Now, you might think, well, what about the people who just inherit all their money? Very small percentage, 5 to 10% of all millionaires in this country inherit their wealth from their family. What that says is it is difficult for a millionaire to transfer not the money transfers, but to transfer the behavior to the next generation so that the next generation remains millionaires. It's easy to transfer the money. Okay, that's debatable, but it's easy to spend money. That's the problem. If you grow up wealthy, you're used to spending it, not to earning it, and most second generation, most children of millionaires do not remain millionaires. So what this says is most millionaires in this country, most of that 12 million, so let's just say about 10 million of them, even more, will earn their own millions. And most of them start from that middle income, middle lower income, upper lower income. These are people who are necessarily, they don't always have the best scores and the best grades in school. B- is not uncommon. In fact, it's pretty average for millionaires. Except for the professionals, they need those A's. But most millionaires, it's not about their grades. They are intelligent, but they don't necessarily get the straight A's in school. So let's talk about their lifestyle. Do you think they are driving the truck or the Bugatti? Most middle school and high school kids are going to say the Bugatti. If you're a millionaire, you're going to buy $1 million car. Not even close. There's only one only one luxury car. There's no sports cars anywhere on the top 10 list of most common vehicles driven by millionaires. And that luxury vehicle is a Mercedes. That's the only one in top 10. Generally, you'll find most millionaires driving big American sedans or Japanese sedans or trucks, American trucks, by far. How about living in a suburb or a 2,500 square foot home, 30,000 square foot home, or the $5,000, $10,000 mansion? Most of them will live in a home that you wouldn't differentiate between them being a millionaire and somebody living almost paycheck to paycheck next door. In fact, 60 to 80% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. And it may not be the same percentage at every income level, but at every income level, there are people living paycheck to paycheck or worse. So the answer is not the mansion. What are they doing? Are they spending their time on the golf course? That's what we think of when we think of financially successful people. They're swinging their clubs all day long. That's all they do is get out and do nothing. They don't have to work. Or are they choosing to spend time with family and have experiences with family? And what do they eat? Are they eating out? Are they eating at home? Are they having the fine wine and having a personal chef and so forth? Here's the reality about the millionaire lifestyle. It is the column on the left. It's all based on a book you'll see here. I'll list it in a bit. The Millionaire Next Door came out in the late mid-90s and was criticized by quite a few people by saying, well, that's just because of the tech bubble. The next Millionaire Next Door came out in 2017 or so, 2018, and found the exact same thing, that the majority of millionaires are not living the extravagant lifestyle. You wouldn't even know them that they're millionaires. They don't do it for show. They do it for other reasons. So here are the resources, as I mentioned. If you want to get in, do some more reading. These are just some of them are old, some of them new. The Difference by Gene Chatsky, Millionaire Next Door by Stanley and Danko, The Next Millionaire Next Door by Stanley and his daughter Fala, and then The Millionaire Mind, also by Stanley. Stanley and Danko, two professors that started surveying actual millionaires back in the 90s to find more about their mindset. Great information. There's plenty of other books as well that could make this list. So why do they do it? Why do they, if they're not doing it for the show, that's the ones that we see on TV. Those are the actors, the athletes, the musicians that want to be seen. Why are they successful? Why do they care about their money? Here's what motivates them. They love the freedom to do what they want when they want. Well, isn't that the freedom to go buy the big, huge, fancy truck or car? Freedom to buy a big mansion? No, not necessarily. Yeah, they could, but that's not the freedom they're looking for. They want to spend time with family. By far, the two most common activities that millionaires have participated in within the last 30 days. It's not even investments. It's not meeting with their CPA. It's not traveling the world. It's not being on the golf course. Over 90% will have had a family activity, not just a dinner, but a nice family activity. They will have also, right about just a little below that, about 89% of them or so will have had friends over for a nice meal. Very social. It's about relationships. It really is. The vast majority is about relationships. Generosity. Now you can read contrary views out there that the wealthier somebody is, the less likely they are to be generous. But you can also read the opposite. This is my take. Those who are saying that the more wealthy somebody is, the less likely they are to be generous, are probably interviewing the wrong people. They're interviewing those who want to be seen and want to be known, because they're spending their money on the lifestyle, may not have the capacity to be generous. That's not true in all cases. Obviously, there are many well-known people who are extraordinarily generous. But if you stay connected, and this is something that what I've seen is people who become millionaires have always been generous, more generous than the general population. They didn't wait until after they had their millions. They did it on their way. As you stay connected to the needs of others in your community, you become better at identifying your own needs and differentiating them from your wants, so that we don't spend frivolously on things that really aren't that important to us. We focus on our needs and on the needs of others. So generosity first, that's a principle that I propose in my book, Everyday Money for Everyday People. And I really think it's a sound financial principle for success and stability. Speaking of stability and home, it's relationships. It is not having to depend on anyone else, having the security, knowing that you can, having the confidence, knowing that you are taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of what you are responsible for. That stability and that home life is what motivates many millionaires. And work. Oh my goodness. That is not why our youth and our young people and others and beyond want to become millionaires. I want to become a millionaire so that I can work the rest of my life and work for 50 hours or 60 hours a day. But you know what? Many millionaires, especially that 40% who are small business owners, they love what they do. And work is not something they do outside of life. It is part of their life. They love creating an organization or a business that provides a service or a product that makes other people's lives better. And they typically will work for that 55, 60 hours a week and not complain about it. In fact, they'll get to the age of 65, 67, 68 years old, 69, whatever retirement age is. By the time they get there, they're not looking forward necessarily to just staying and sitting around the house and doing nothing. That mentality gets you nowhere financially. They love being active and they love starting their business and working their business and growing their business and making it better. They have identified themselves with their business and they take a lot of pride in it. So if your goal in life is to not work, millionaire lifestyle may not be for you. If your goal in life is to be out on the golf course and to travel the world and not do anything, that's not the lifestyle of most of true millionaires in this country. So you may not be cut out for the lifestyle of the truly wealthy, and that is the trick. Most people think, well, if I could just be a millionaire, if I could just win the lottery, and you have people winning $1 million, $2 million, $4 million, $10 million, and within a year or two or four, every penny of it is gone. And in fact, they're even in more debt than they were before, because they don't understand that money is a tool not just to be spent, but it's a tool to get you what you really want in life: security, stability, to build relationships, to contribute. If it's just about spending, there is no amount of money in this world that you could earn that you can't spend. So if you are a lottery player, you'd be doing much better to take that $10, $20, $50 a week and put it toward something long-term. Start your own business, work your own business that you enjoy. And in 10 years, 15 years, you're going to worry less about making that million, and because you're going to be enjoying what you're doing. Find something you enjoy doing every day. Okay, MoneyFit Academy. Please join us at moneyfit.org/academy. We have classes there that are pre-recorded. We have this live webinar every Thursday. And I look forward to having you join me again. Check out all of our resources on our website, and they're appropriate to share with family members and students, if you teach a class of any sort, a lot of free certificates of completion available there. If you now want to change the way you see money, maybe you say, hey, I've got to make a change in my behavior, a change in my thought process. This is the theory of change. You've got to picture, where do you want to be in 10 years or 20 years compared to now? Picture your future and consider where you're at now. And do you see the difference? Here you are now, here you are in 20 years or in 15 years. That difference is what creates discontent, frustration, call it whatever you want. But that's what actually creates motivation to change. You have to ask yourself regularly, what do I want to be and where am I now? And then you take that motivation and you ask yourself, okay, what am I doing to improve the chances of achieving the future I want? That having something specific to do is critical. After that, tell yourself, well, I'm going to change. And then the most important thing today, take one step now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month or next year. If you don't take one step today, within the next few hours, this will be a waste of time for you. I don't want it to be a waste of time. I want you to take one step. The easiest step is to write down what you want in your life that's going to require money and why. Money is a tool. Do not make it the object of your life. If having $1 million is the object, you will get to $1 million and you will feel completely unsatisfied, because there will always be more money that you'll want. What is it that you want in life that's going to require money? That's your goal. Write that down. That's the great first step. And then figure out what to do next. That's the theory of change. Make it happen for you. If you would like a certificate of completion for today's course, just go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly /MFL, that's MoneyFitLive -million. Okay, no spaces, no dots, no caps, all lower cases. And then when you get there, it'll ask you to put in your name and your email address so that we can deliver that certificate automatically to you. And it'll ask you for the passcode, which is 719 next door. No spaces, no caps again, no dots, no dashes, nothing. 719 next door. And that is it for the day. We'll have somebody stick around if you wanted to ask any questions in the chat box. But I hope you have learned something here or found something that you can share with kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, because I guarantee they are in need of a mind shift to what the reality is for living financially successful lives. But thank you, and I hope you have a great day.